Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad people. Welcome to our show. Hello, anyone who want to learn more about SEO, digital marketing. Welcome. Today we are going to discuss more about SEO, about AI, about digital marketing, and many things that can help you to win in Google, ChatGPT, or any other environment. You can get great results if you adapt your strategy and can do something that actually works. I'm so excited to discuss all these topics with Jim Hedger. How are you?
I'm good, but in a way, I feel kind of ambushed there, Anatoly. Next time, why don't we use a website I care about? I haven't updated my own website in years. I'm
Uh,
one of those SEOs who, for some reason, begs the cobbler's shoes conundrum whenever his own website gets mentioned.
yeah. I,
Please, ANS Gear, CBS Sports, one of my clients that I actually care about.
yeah. I understand. It depends on priorities. When you have priorities, I sometimes don't have 95% time for all my priorities. I need to choose 5% that can bring results. So, and yeah, if you use other channels and these channels were great, of course, it's better to pay attention to that. Even, for example, I check out the website of neilpatel.com. So he had on his peak 2 million traffic. 2 million traffic. Today, only 40,000 traffic. So he lost a lot of traffic. I don't remember. I mean, like it's like 57 times less traffic than on the peak. But what I analyzed on this time frame, his network. I mean, like his. He grew his capitalization, I don't know, anything like that, from 30 million to $100 million. I mean, like he lost 57% of traffic, but pay attention to other priorities, to sales, to get results with different methods. And it doesn't mean that you need to have traffic, to become successful today. Especially important, you need to pay attention to sales. So
Absolutely. Now, before going any further, I want to caution every other SEO in the world out there: pay attention to your website. I'm an absolute idiot, but I'm the luckiest idiot on the planet. I came along. I'm the best exemplar of, say, Malcolm Gladwell's Blink in the SEO industry. I came along at exactly the right time, established my career as a writer and as a explainer of how search works to the industry, and I've been living on that ever since. My work with Webmaster Radio popularized my name and made me far better known than the businesses I own or even the work that I've done as an SEO. So I've been insanely lucky. I've never had to go out and look for business. It's always come to me, and because of that, I've been really negligent of the important business stuff, like actually having real infrastructure and stuff. Your website is really important.
Yeah. Jim, you spoke 2 times on my podcast, and the last time you did almost 2 years ago. That was valuable. I always get engagement from your podcast, so that is why I decided to invite you again. Welcome back anytime to share more value, especially today when our community needs new skills in this quickly changing world with AI. Many things are happening now. We need to adapt, to adjust, and someone who can do it fast can win at any environment. It doesn't matter. AI search, Google, you can win if you change what you have, if you adapt to all challenges that we have. Jim, you have this background with writing, you work in radio. So I think it can help you a lot. I mean, like when you need to adapt to how many SEO experts can proclaim. It's not like search engine optimization. It's search everywhere optimization. So you need to have podcasts. You need to have to post on social media, to create content for your blog, to republish in different places. Can you tell how you see SEO today?
Well, I was saying a really similar thing to one of my clients last week, presenting an audit to them. This reminds me a lot of the earliest social media days, when we went from one main platform, which was the website itself, and everyone had a destination website. You went to ABC or CBS.com or CBC.ca, BBC.co.uk, whatever. NewYorkTimes.com, whatever your source was, that's where you had to go to. Then we entered the social media world where people started sending stuff to you, recommending things to you. And to be included in that world, if you were a publisher, you had to do a number of other things. You had to make a blog post. You had to write your article, then chunk it up into little sections, make a blog post, do a video. And do little paragraph hits to get into Twitter and get into Facebook and the earliest social medias. So an individual's job requirements tripled overnight with the introduction of the new technology. With the introduction of generative AI responses, your workload has quadrupled, centupled. What's the word for 10 times more? Decupled or something? It's gotten way bigger. So yeah, SEO everywhere. But that's kind of okay because that's actually kind of handled with like tagging and schema and proper use of markup. And again, this comes all back to the website itself, where it used to be a destination. Now it's more of a garden.
Yeah, Jim, I want to ask more about writing background. I remember when ChatGPT was launched, many experts proclaimed that this tool can't compete with manual writing. It's impossible. This tool doesn't have spirit, emotions, many things, and even at that time, Google punished AI content. Then Google changed this policy to punish low quality content. And today, according to some data, AI written content, generated content can get higher even results. But I see such things that it doesn't mean that writing is that. Of course not. But if you want to lead ChatGPT or any other tool, doesn't matter which tool you use, you need to have writing skills. You need to have writing background. I still cooperate with experts who can post content on Forbes, on many big websites, and I don't care. They use ChatGPT or they don't use. I need quality. So if you have writing background, you can ask right prompts, you can edit results, you can get great results, you can get value. So you can type manually or use ChatGPT. It doesn't matter. You need to get quality. What do you think about manual writing today? How to combine with what we have?
Well, first of all, writers have to understand that everything that they put out is going to be published. So writers are part of the publishing ecosphere, part of the publishing process, which means accuracy is everything. We owe it to our audience to give them the right information. That's why they're looking at our stuff. They want to know something. So we owe it to the audience to be absolutely sure that what we're writing or what we're putting out is absolutely accurate. Think of an author like Stephen King. People suggest Stephen King hasn't written his own books in X number of years because he has a staff of writers that do the writing for him, and he edits it and copies it all together after giving them an outline. That may or may not be true. It may be an urban myth. It may be actually true. But that's kind of how I think writers moving forward are going to be using AI tools. There's nothing wrong with having an AI rapidly fill in the blanks. If you want to be known as a writer, you need to create your own style, and that takes dedicated work. I don't mean to sound like I'm about to sound, but I've spent the last 30 years developing a very unique voice. I can write in that voice without even thinking because that's just how I think.
Yeah.
If I was to turn to Gemini or Claude or ChatGPT to do much of that writing for me, those skills would slowly wither. I would not be as in touch with that side of my brain as I am now, as quickly as I am. However, I really don't mind sacrificing all that research time because I've spent so many years learning how to research when I went to school that I'm never going to forget that skill. So if ChatGPT or Gemini wants to do all the heavy lifting on the research end for me, I am so for that. But I got to check the facts. It's in the early days of Wikipedia. It was an absolutely fine source to use, no matter what your professor or some knowledge authority was saying to you, provided you checked the sources and verified that this was actually the right information. It's your job as the writer, just as it's your job as writer/publisher or the publisher you're collaborating with to guarantee that the stuff that's going out is accurate. But for goodness sake, if you can make your job easier, writing sucks. If you can make your job easier, do it.
Yeah, and you mentioned about Stephen King. I learned his tips how to improve your writing, and he told if you can do only two things to improve your writing, you need to write a lot and read a lot. Just two things, you know. And I have no idea how to create great content without having writing background. For example, I try to create great content with in accounting niche with specialists that have plus 20 years of experience in accounting, but they didn't have this writing background. So they know everything about accounting, but they are using ChatGPT and can't get quality because they don't know how to retain readers, how to create non-boring text, you know, because it's very important and bounce rate is high. People open any text. If it's boring, they just leave it, you know. So
But for
you
those
need,
accountants, I'll bet you if they prompt their chatbots properly, their chatbots can actually help them improve their own writing. They just have to. With writing, you got to get over a lot of nervousness and equivocation. We often make these statements that like qualify ourselves to our readers. You don't got to do that. They're reading you because they believe you're the expert. Don't prove you're the expert. Just give them the facts, because that's
yeah.
what they're actually interested in. And honestly, the most boring writing comes from people who are trying to prove they're the expert. Don't prove nothing. That's why they're looking at you already. Just be the expert, but
Yeah.
be accurate when you're being the expert.
Yeah, and yeah, you need to make your hands dirty, you know, without writing a lot. For example, I don't use AI to edit all my text on social media. I just post anything that I can, and I don't know. I mean, like in social media, if you even make grammar mistakes, if you don't phrase something right, but I don't have time, you know, to edit. I know my audience can consume value of this content. For blog content, of course, I can use editors to check twice. Even Stephen King has a lot of editors, you know, who can check content, even cut something, you know. Yeah, it's very important. I think editing is the main part of
Well,
great
that
writing.
is the deal with great writing. Great writing is all editing.
Yeah, yeah. Jim, let's talk about SEO more. Even about SEO blogging. I think like for many years, SEO blogging was the main part of the strategy. Even today, many websites still write blog posts for the sake of SEO traffic because according to data, plus 50% of all traffic are coming to blog content. It's a lot of traffic, and we need to lead people, users in the sales funnel to make them customers, especially when people hesitate, don't know, they need to learn about products. And so we can do it with blog content. But what about the future? Tim Solo from Ahrefs said that only 3 years left for SEO blog content because ChatGPT can reply to this question, Gemini can reply, AI mode. So AI search can do this job. And I'm not sure about the future. I think it's time to switch the strategy. For example, I keep writing a lot. I write a lot because I can get results from my audience on LinkedIn. So I have plus 40,000 people who subscribe to my newsletter. And I think if you can get audience from different channels, it's good. If you write only for the sake of SEO traffic, is almost that. What do you think about that?
First of all, with the blog, it's not necessarily what you do, but the way that you do it. The search engines exist to surface content. AI exists to consume new content. Feed the dragon. Always feed the dragon. Your blog is not going to be a destination people are going to learn new things. They're going to be compiling their own personal knowledge bases based on stuff, hits they get from generative AI responses, and from stuff like from blog posts that they read that end up at, say, at LinkedIn or at one of the trade journals, whatever remaining destination sites will still exist 3 years from now. But your blog should still be used to feed information to be crawled. Put stuff there to be crawled. It's going to be found in other venues, but it has to exist somewhere first to be found in another venue. Also, your blog should be used, if you have, say, an e-commerce page, your blog should be used to support products inside of your main website. So think of like the typical WordPress build where you have like posts and pages, right? Your pages are your website. That's, it's everything that's connected to your shopping cart. Posts, on the other hand, your blog pages, they can be quite topical, and they can have links that go into the main pages of your website. Your blog post can be distributed on X number of other mediums, remembering that we're all having to do 10 times the amount of work. So use the blog as a repository for all of that extra work you done. Do a TikTok hit, throw it up on your blog. Why not? Now it exists in 2 venues.
Yeah.
Do a YouTube video, great. Leave it up on YouTube. Have a little iframe on your blog so that it exists in more than one venue, and also can get crawled in more than one venue.
Yeah.
And use links to support ideas and concepts, because for goodness sakes, it's all about imagine. Okay, I'm sorry I'm going on and on and on, but imagine how the old website hierarchy used to be, where you start at the very top of your index page and you get your like top level nav and you have all the stuff. It's kind of upside down now. Start with an idea and it builds to new ideas, and connections get made between things that relate to the original idea, entities, things that exist that relate to your original concept. Your blog is a natural building place for that.
Yeah. Especially today with topical authority. If you want to rank, for example, on ChatGPT, Google, if you don't have topical authority, why this system should recommend your content? Even if you don't get traffic, but if you have topical authority, if you publish about something all the time, you can increase your EEAT, and it can help to get recommendations on ChatGPT, on Perplexity, AI mode, everywhere. So for me, it's important. And Jim, I have some students in my network, and today it's tough for them. They think it's tough.
It is
because
tough.
Because I mean, like, if we check out data, we publish some data in our blog about how many people lost jobs because of AI. And we analyze big tech companies. In 2025, 65,000 people lost their jobs. For example, on Microsoft laid off like 9,000 people, 4%. IBM fired 8,000 people, a lot of people. And I know these big corporations hire the best, real smart experts. I'm pretty sure these people will find other jobs, but what we can see, AI can replace real smart people. And today, when all companies are looking for AI agents, solutions to use some automation, they're not looking to hire interns. And for many years, that worked great for many interns to join any company, to acquire experience by doing some boring stuff, the manual jobs, not creative, and to acquire experience to become an expert in one day. But today, when AI agents can do this job, it's tough for them. So what will you advise these people to do today?
Become managers. I'm treating AIs in my operation as brand new employees. They're really skilled at doing specific things. Heaven knows that's why I hired them. But I don't want them running the entire operation. I want, myself or one of my assistants running those operations. Be somebody who can manage the output of several bots at the same time. Understand the goals. Be somebody who's able to understand in a linear fashion the goals of the organization. how you're going to help achieve those goals using extra tools. And AI is just knowledge tools. That's all they are. They're just super fast. It's like having a library that compiles stuff really quickly, and you got to double check what was compiled. But it does the compilation for you rapid fast. So learn how to, and also AI agents are going to be out there performing. The problem with what I'm about to say is we don't actually know what's going to happen. We assume this is how it's going to happen because this is kind of how it used to work, but now we believe AI bots are going to be doing a lot of the stuff for us. But just like those 65,000 people from Microsoft who lost their jobs, what happened yesterday isn't necessarily what's going to happen tomorrow. As near as we can tell, though, we're going to have agentic bots doing things for us. I shouldn't be trusted to book my own travel. I will screw up the month. I will have to end up buying 2 plane tickets because I really thought that March was April. I don't know why that happens just all the time. But if I got a bot to do that for me, I bet you it wouldn't screw up. I bet you it could plan that by going out and scouring the web for the smartest deals. It could probably plan the fastest and cheapest itineraries for me. Way better than I possibly could. We're going to have bots doing a whole bunch of stuff like that. Imagine Americans negotiating their health insurance in the coming years. You're going to have bots doing that for you because it's going to be crazier than paying your income tax in the States, which you'll also probably have a bot doing for you. Manage those bots. You're getting into the industry now. Understand how success in SEO has always come back to understanding how the internet works. We're in the middle of a radical change in how we use the internet because we have far better tools now. But the internet is likely going to continue working the same way. It's just going to be more robust and supporting a hell of a lot more activity. Learn to manage that activity, and you'll probably have a long career.
Yeah. Anyway, for someone who just started today or going to start, I want to say, when we were young, to get any knowledge, we should sign to library, to go to specific location and spend time to search for a book. Today, YouTube, Google, ChatGPT, a lot of opportunities. Social media is free.
For now.
Media. Create your own stuff. You can create websites for free. Many free solutions. Just start, do this job. If nobody wanna hire you, just learn from case studies, guides, blog posts. Learn from Jim Hedger, from Anatoly Litovsky. Choose the best speaker, offer for you, and do your hands dirty.
Well, get your hands dirty is a really important thing.
Yeah.
Experiment. Don't be afraid to fail. I often suggest this mightn't be such a good suggestion anymore because I'm not sure that the work reward benefit is still going to be there. But I used to tell SEOs, get a half dozen affiliate sites and hone your skills on those.
Yeah.
The worst that could happen is you'll create a small passive income for yourself. The best that could happen is you'll create a large passive income for yourself.
Yeah.
But you'll be consistently practicing your skills on websites that can crash and burn, and you're not hurting a client. You're not getting a bad reputation. You're experimenting within your own little bubble. Do that somehow. Experiment. Network with other people. Learn what's working with them. The SEO industry has always been built on honing each other's skills. Shows like this, experiences like this podcast. Are people coming and saying, hey, this is what I think, hopefully adding to a collective knowledge base. Add to it yourself. Also don't be afraid to be wrong and be called on it, because it's going to happen. And if you handle it gracefully, you might learn a whole bunch.
Yeah. I can't say how many times I was wrong, and and how many times I failed. I keep failing every single day, every single day I made mistakes, and I remember when, for example, I decided to learn about PR without any knowledge, without any skills, but we had a big contract and we should find a way to write press releases, to acquire backlinks, mentions, and we paid $6,000 for one press release. $6,000, a lot of money, and we should write 12 press releases. So I got it. I have no this budget. I need to find a way. So I started to write myself. I wrote a bunch of press releases. For 3 months, I got zero links, zero mentions. I kept writing a few press releases a day. I learned from case studies. After 3 months, I got the first small mention from unknown blog, so nothing special. Then after 6 months, we got average results, and 9 months left. Forbes, CNN, Bloomberg, Business Insider, MSN, Yahoo, a lot of big websites. But I failed like many times before that. I failed, and I didn't pay for courses, just learn on Google, on YouTube, and made my hands dirty. Just tried, failed before getting any results.
That's putting the time in, though. That's like that's like the bands who have to play the grueling bar circuit before they get heard and get a chance to play some actual festivals, or to get a video on YouTube or something. Authors who write like 24 copies before they finally get something picked up by a magazine. So you put the work in. Eventually, it's like a snowball rolling downhill. These things do actually build on themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jim, tell about your workflow. For example, you have a new website. You want to promote. You have the goal to increase traffic, sales. So can you tell what you do first, second, third? I mean, like your checklist, how to do it right.
Okay, so actually, this is interesting. I just got a brand new client, started last week. They're a medical clinic that's going to be set up in the neighborhood I live in the north end of Toronto. They're going to be competing against 3 or 4 similar clinics, all of which have been established for a decade or more. So they've got a large internet footprint. They're great networks. Excellent services in the community, each and every one of them. This is also going to be an excellent service. What we're doing is we're going to be starting by getting a 3-page website up, just very quickly explaining the concept and having sign-up form to take new patients and names, and really just giving a foundation to put the blog up. The various specialists who are going to be working in the clinic, this is the province of Ontario, so everything is government funded, and it rolls out in a slow but very scheduled manner. So our marketing plan can also roll out in a very slow but scheduled manner. We're going to have every specialist who's going to be working in the clinic to introduce themselves in the blog, write about their specialty, whatever, just podiatry and hiking, whatever fits the days that they're going to be blogging about their specialty. And we're going to be doing the SEO everywhere strategy, putting TikTok hits, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, etc. Using X and Blue Sky to popularize these individuals as writers, and hopefully get crawlers to start looking at the blog, and get, there will even be actual live humans looking at the blog too. But I really want the crawlers. That's what I'm aiming for in the first phase. Second phase, we're going to be building a much larger, I've been telling them 12 to 60 page general brochure like website. It's going to start as a typical 12 page and is going to grow over time. And the thing that's going to be interesting about this one is the topic clusters that we're going to be designing specifically, hoping to get, again, crawlers to start associating this clinic with specific ideas and entities, and hopefully propelling it higher and higher in the local search rankings. I don't expect to be outpacing businesses that have been established for 10 years or more within the first 6 to 8 months. That's just not going to happen. But then we're going to be introducing a total brand new website, a headless site, React. It's going to be an app a web-based app, and that's the one that is going to outrank the competition. By then, the domain will have been completely and absolutely associated with all the entities we want it to be associated with, entities being like keywords, keyword queries, questions that might be asked, and specialties the doctors will be offering in this clinic. Offering the new website, everything is going to come down to the migration from the brochure to the headless site to the web app site, and by then, I'm hoping we'll have done the groundwork to provide the foundation to have that site slot into Google Local and the top 10 SERPs, as well as having already been providing answers in AI mode and overview.
A lot of work, a lot of things you need to do.
But the cool thing is, it's the dawn of something new, and we can sort of, how to say this? It's not the dawn of something new. We're actually kind of around 9 or 10 in the morning now, having brunch and actually realizing how this thing is starting to work. And so we can make concrete plans on how to get stuff into the AI knowledge bases. And actually, there are tools out there now where you can actually see what the knowledge bases know about your client or about you or your client, and where they're sourcing this information from. Should it be misinformation, you can go back to the source, have them change it, and theoretically, there's no guarantee on this, but theoretically, the knowledge bases should change over time, right?
Yeah, nice. I have a bunch of questions according to your reply, and the first question about writing. You have this great writing background, but if you take a new client in health niche, you need to cooperate with writers who have experience with health and special education, especially today when we have this EEAT, and you can't create just text with great writers. You need create text with great experts who have experience in specific niche and have this writing background. Can you tell your methods? For example, how are you going to write content or update content for this client?
I'm blessed with a wealth of riches in this clinic because they already have doctors who are lined up who are going to be performing in the practice. But that's only half the battle here. Part of EEAT, one of the keywords here is experience. And experience comes at an issue from a number of different angles. There's the manufacturer's experience. Okay, well, continuing on health. There's the doctor's experience. There's also the patient's experience. My girlfriend, my partner, is a 3-time cancer survivor. Ooh. She is not an expert in nuclear medicine, but she's an expert in receiving nuclear medicine. She's not an expert in gene therapy, but she's received gene therapy. And so there's other stories.
She can write like for patients, yeah?
Absolutely. There's other stories that we can tell from the health perspective that aren't necessarily the expertise of the doctor, but there's stuff that somebody who's deciding, I want to go to this clinic over that clinic, needs to know.
Yeah.
There's empathy over the clinical bedside manner. Very empathetic. I'm a cancer patient. I want empathy.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, agree with that. Okay. What about technical optimization? Today I got the question from one of my customers, and she used Python for a long time. Then she switched to WordPress, and for now she's looking for a new solution. I ask why are you looking for a new solution? What you don't like about Python or WordPress? She replied, no, it's not. She doesn't like. She thinks some other solution can be better. I can't agree with that. I think all CMS systems have own benefits, probably advantages, disadvantages. It depends, but it's more important to cooperate with specialists who know exactly how the system works and can optimize in the right way. What do you think about technical optimization today?
Well, number one, to continue flogging the health example, we're like doctors, and one of the things in the Hippocratic Oath is do no harm. Like don't do anything that harms the patient, only help. So don't solve problems that don't actually need solving. I'm not sure if you're My first thought about your friend who went from Python to WordPress was screwed up migration. So that must be why she perceives she has a problem. But who knows? I have no idea. Technical SEO is incredibly important because it's all about being crawled, and it's all about providing the crawlers with as many signals as possible to describe anything that moves on the page. If it moves, like mark it up. If it's an image, use alt text and appropriate schema. If it's a product, use appropriate schema. If it's an offering, use appropriate schema. Technical SEO is really like being a doctor / auto mechanic, and the better the vehicle or body performs, the better everybody is going associated with it is going to do. You will not get in anywhere in search if you're not crawlable. That's all. You can have the best information in the world, but if it can't be read, it ain't going to get read. So that's technical. That's technical SEO. If 9 times out of 10 problems with websites aren't content, it's because the content isn't being read. Why isn't being read? Well, that's where you get your technical SEO to come in and figure it out.
Yeah. By the way, I like your method about writing text for patients, not like doctors should try it. It's more related to user-generated content about experience by using these products.
But again, accuracy and authenticity is everything. If you don't pretend you had that experience if you didn't have that experience, because somebody who did have that experience will know.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead to the most complex part, link building. Other methods, yeah. Can you tell your methods? What you do today?
I hate link building. It really depends on the client and their needs. If it's a large corporation, I'm outsourcing that. I tend to outsource with people who came up in the industry at the same time I did. Now that Boykin sold the Ninjas, I don't know what that kind of concerns me, but we'll see how that goes in the long run. I really appreciate Jim Boykin and the service that he provided, and Smarty, just really smart link building services. Everybody involved in your website, all websites are local, unless you're dealing with a very large corporation. And again, if you're dealing with a large corporation, the volume you need, you're outsourcing, you're getting people published in magazines, you're doing things at a very high scale. But for most people, your businesses and the people you're representing are very local. Everyone's got their networks. Use your networks. Reciprocal links are not cool if it's a one-to-one, A to A, B to B, C to C thing. But you ever been to a Chamber of Commerce gathering or a local business gathering? You have 8 businesses on the same street. They are somehow related to each other, if only through their association being on the same street. If they do a common project, say a street cleanup, now you got a reason to link to each other. That can grow into a completely informal business improvement association, or just a group of people who have coffee together. Make a blog and write about that. The point is, use your networks throughout your community, especially with your new business. There is a reason for a gas station to link up with a hardware store. There is a reason for a burger stand to well, I don't want them linking up with a car dealership, but they do both involve cars. Find the relevancy between local businesses and find a way to help each other out.
Yeah. And what do you think about citations? We have a bunch of services like Moz, SEMrush has, White Spark. So, yeah, what do you think about that?
Mark up everything you possibly can. Citations to me are just another form of markup. Don't confuse users or crawlers. So be really careful and be really precise in the use of wording. But any way you can define the topic you're talking about, as long as you're not stuffing or spamming or diverging your topic way too much. Any way you can describe the topic is probably good.
Yeah, got it. Jim, I have my final question, but very important question for my audience about the future of SEO. New York Times posted this article that many SEO specialists uh, shared on social media, that SEO is dead, and we know that many people, headline readers, okay, SEO is dead. Why I need to waste my time with that? But in the inside article, that was described a little bit better, that SEO is becoming geo generative engine experience. What do you think about the future of SEO? We know today is still powerful channel. Google can beat all other channels in one site, including ChatGPT, including many others. I don't remember exactly number, but plus 40 times.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What can happen in 5-10 years, in your opinion?
Okay. SEO has died every couple of years throughout my 30-year SEO career. And every time it dies, I note that we're spelling the word die wrong. We're spelling it D-I-E because that's all dramatic and stuff, eh? It should be D-Y-E. It changes. It morphs. We're about making information as widely available as possible. We still live in a crawler universe. But if it wasn't a crawler universe, it would be another way to find and disseminate information. And we'd be in the middle of that too, because you're always going to need somebody in there. You're always going to need somebody or something to analyze data and make judgments. ABC is a smarter strategy than XYZ. And maybe over time that can be done by AI. Sure. But AI is going to come up with 2 or 3 strategies, and not one strategy is going to fit every website that's out there. In fact, in my career, every website, even 2 websites that are designed exactly the same, are remarkably different in their performance and their action and their acceptance by users. There's always going to be a room for analysts in the marketing funnel. There's always going to be a room for really good technical writers. Maybe we're not going to be writing as much as we're going to be editing, but it's still going to be the skill of writing. And there's always going to be a space for the, the influence of an experienced, credible voice. There will not be as many entry-level positions. There will not be as many link building positions. There will not be as many data entry or blog writing positions in the future. And what will be there, you'll have to fight for, and you'll have to be very, very, very talented to get. But there will be more developer positions, even if it's developers just checking the vibe code of Claude that's been generated 10,000 times till he got it right. There's going to be jobs in the SEO industry that I can't even conceive of right now because I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but it's going to go somewhere. And AI is just going to accelerate wherever we're going, but the same skills. I'm still doing the same things I was doing 25, 30 years ago, writing really good titles, writing really good meta descriptions, because something's got to convince somebody to make the click. Yeah. Writing good content, finding reasons to link page to page to page within the website, building really good website structure. I mean, that's going to be even more important in the LLM world as LLMs try to figure out what the heck blue widgets have to do with yellow widgets. I mean, there's SEO is hardly dead. I don't care what we call it in the future, as long as you call me to provide it for you. Honestly, it doesn't matter what we call it in the future. I know John Mueller the other day was, and he's right. Like, the more hype, the more spam, but that happens in every time of great change, and this is a time of great change. So SEO ain't dead. It's a whole bunch of our old skill sets are still being used every day. I just checked the crawl rate on 2 of my clients just because it's important to check, and I actually found a problem because I checked the crawl rate. So that wouldn't have happened if I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure my client knows it. No, we're not dead. We're changing. You're going to need new skills, and we're going to have to communicate our usefulness. But honestly, I just found a problem that my client otherwise wouldn't know of. I'm going to solve it, and by this time Monday, it won't have even happened.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't agree more. I think it's like you learn my mind and share all my thoughts about that. So and SEO is not only how to rank on Google. SEO can teach technical optimization and speed websites without bugs can work at any environment. SEO can teach how to create high quality content that can work at any environment. So and even if AI charts can take some part of the trade, it's okay. You can adapt. You can rank on ChatGPT. You can rank on Google. You can rank at any other places. And for me, it's a good news because I mean, like for many years, specialists optimized for algorithms. For many years, I did it. When that was simple to manipulate, like over 10 years ago, I did it because we got a lot of traffic and sales. Today, I think it's a good news because we can go to the field where it's tough to manipulate. I mean, like to cheat the system, but you need to create high quality, and someone who can create high quality for human being will win at any environment. And algorithm is very smart today. It's AI algorithm. Even specialists on Google don't know how it works. Like
At this point, yeah, it's I think they lost track somewhere around BERT, and then BERT started blowing their minds, and
yeah.
they've been trusting their systems ever since.
Of course. And yeah, it's a good news. SEO is going to marketing that happened before algorithm, for 100, even 1,000 years, when people market any products to touch human psychology. And today, when you can't optimize for algorithm, you need to optimize for human being. Just
Yeah.
do the best job for human being, then any environment will love. SEO, AI search, any.
That's kind of the way it's always been. Like, we've always had two audiences. One has been the crawlers, absolutely, but the other has been live humans. They're the ones who
Yeah.
buy the stuff. And if you're not converting, if people are coming to the websites and they're not buying, then your client isn't keeping you around.
Yeah.
So we've always had two audiences. Don't worry about the crawlers so much anymore. That's technical SEO. When you're writing, write for the audience. The only thing you need to worry about as a writer is finding ways to reference and network to mention and honor the other entity topics that are sort of clustered around the thing that you're writing about. I used to look at again, thinking of the average website hierarchy, index page, top level navigation, then you get like the clusters of individual single pages that came off the top level nav. Those pages used to be looked at by SEOs as individual pages. You had 10 pages over on link A, 5 pages on link B, etc. Today, you got to think of all those pages as one big connected bulb. They might represent individual topics, but each of those pages has to relate to each other. And you're getting the crawler to really basically recognize the connections between entities. So when thinking it through your content and how you're building content out, remember the relationship between the things that you represent.
Yeah, awesome. Love it. Jim, thanks a lot for your time, for sharing all these valuable bombs. Welcome back anytime. You can come much faster.
This is always fun.
More often.
Please invite. My world just keeps moving, so please invite me, and I'm happy to show up anytime.
Okay, cool. Guys, I recommend to anyone to follow Jim Hedger on social media. By the way, tell the best way how to follow you.
Best way to follow me. I mean, I promise I'm going to spend a whole bunch more time on LinkedIn. I'm so disgusted with the Facebook environment, with X environment, all the other social environments. I will spend a huge more time on LinkedIn. I'm even going to post articles there and stuff. Best place to follow me weekly, though, is subscribe to Webcology, the podcast I've been doing for the last 18 years. I talk like this once a week for an hour and a half. Interviewed Dixon Jones yesterday about his new tool, AI tool, Wake. Really fun interview. That should be up sometime next week. But yeah, best way to hook in with me is follow Webcology. I'm going to be doing that until I die. I've been doing it for the last 18 years and ain't no reason to stop.
Oh, nice. So you still have 100 years, to lead this podcast.
Well, you know what? I mean, like if you're healthy, you may well be right these days. But probably don't got another 100 years.
Yeah.
But, I can tell you for sure, Bruce Clay does. He'll be around forever.
Oh, awesome.
And Greehead, and Mike Greehead, yeah.
He's a great guy. Okay, guys, you can find the link to the podcast. I recommend to anyone to subscribe to this podcast, to keep learning, to update what you have. You can see that our world is quickly changing. We need to adapt, to adjust. If you follow great experts like Jim Hedger, you can stay in touch with modern environment and adapt much faster. Okay, guys, love you. See you.